Season 1 of Euphoria follows Rue Bennett and her group of high school classmates as they navigate love, identity, trauma, and addiction. Rue is a 17-year-old struggling with drug addiction and long-standing mental health issues, all worsened by the unresolved grief of losing her father to cancer. Her ongoing cycle of relapse and recovery takes a toll not just on her, but also on her mother Leslie and younger sister Gia. Rue's childhood best friend is Lexi, but their relationship has become distant. Lexi wants to support Rue, but often finds herself pushed away by Rue's destructive behavior. Lexi's older sister, Cassie, is dating college freshman Christopher McKay. Cassie is emotionally scarred by the absence of her father, while McKay deals with overwhelming pressure from his own dad to become a professional athlete. These personal struggles create tension in their relationship. McKay is reluctant to publicly commit to Cassie. Cassie ends up sleeping with fellow student Daniel, and later, she learns she is pregnant. Another student, Kat Hernandez, undergoes a personal transformation during the season, gaining confidence in her body and sexuality. After being secretly recorded during her first sexual experience, Kat discovers she can earn significant money through cam work. She begins uploading explicit content online while continuing to explore her desires. Eventually, she enters a relationship with her classmate Ethan, but her insecurities and emotional walls keep creating rifts between them. Nate Jacobs, the school's quarterback, is an aggressive and controlling figure hiding deep sexual insecurities. He has an on-and-off relationship with Maddie Perez. During one of their breakups, Maddie sleeps with college student Tyler at a party. In response, Nate violently assaults Tyler in his home. When Maddie later accuses Nate of abuse after he chokes her, Nate coerces Tyler into taking the blame. This manipulative behavior is just part of a larger web of secrets. Nate's father, Cal, leads a double life. He secretly records his sexual encounters with young gay men and trans women. One of these encounters is with Jules, a new student in town. Rue quickly falls for Jules when they meet, but Jules unknowingly begins a flirty online relationship with someone named Tyler, who turns out to be Nate in disguise. When they meet, Nate blackmails Jules, threatening to report her for sending underage nudes unless she stays quiet about her night with Cal. Traumatized, Jules leans on Rue for support, and they share a kiss. Rue hopes this means a relationship, but Jules isn't ready. On a night out in the city, she even meets and hooks up with a girl named Anna. As the season progresses, Rue's sobriety becomes more unstable. Her friend and drug dealer Fezco grows concerned and stops selling to her. But things get worse when his dangerous supplier, Mouse, forces Rue to try fentanyl. When Rue finds out that Nate had catfished Jules as Tyler, she convinces Fezco to threaten him. In retaliation, Nate reports Fez to the police, forcing Fez and his younger partner Ashtray to destroy their drug stash, leaving Fez deeply in debt. In the season finale, several key events unfold. Cassie undergoes an abortion with the support of her family. Kat and Ethan reconcile after a rocky start. Fezco robs a supplier to pay off his debts. Nate and Maddie break up on peaceful terms. Rue confronts Nate about his manipulation and warns him that she's willing to expose his father if he ever targets Jules again. Rue and Jules make plans to run away together, but at the last moment, Rue backs out and leaves Jules to board the train alone. Rue returns home heartbroken and uses oxycodone, ending the season on a somber note. Between seasons 1 and 2, 2 special episodes were released. In the first, Rue has an intense conversation with her NA sponsor Ali at a diner. She opens up about her relapse, and Ali shares his own experiences with addiction, emphasizing the importance of self-forgiveness and recovery as a process. In the second episode, Jules attends a therapy session where she reflects on her own life. She reveals her mother's struggles with addiction and the emotional weight it carries. She admits she loves Rue, but also confesses she still had feelings for the online version of Tyler, Nate's false persona. When she returns home, Rue is there. Before Jules can speak, Rue simply says Merry Christmas and walks away, leaving their relationship in an unresolved and painful place. Season 2 of Euphoria delves even deeper into the emotional turmoil, destructive behavior, and tangled relationships of Rue Bennett and her classmates. Things start off on a dangerous note when Fezco's younger brother, Ashtray, kills their supplier Mouse in self-defense, putting the brothers in a perilous position. Rue accompanies Fez to meet a new supplier, Laurie, an unsettlingly calm woman who conceals a chilling, manipulative presence beneath her quiet demeanor. As Fez manages the fallout of his business, he begins forming a relationship with Lexi, and allows Faye, the girlfriend of his associate Custer, to stay at his home after Custer runs into trouble with the law. Meanwhile, Fez gets his revenge on Nate Jacobs for the Season 1 raid by beating him up at a party. Cassie begins a secret affair with Nate, growing obsessively attached to him despite the fact that he's her best friend Maddie's ex. Her guilt worsens when Nate resumes his relationship with Maddie, and the triangle grows increasingly volatile. On the Jacobs side, Nate's father Cal drunkenly reveals his double life to his family and walks out, abandoning them. Elsewhere, Kat finds herself falling out of love with Ethan, and in a desperate attempt to end things, pretends to be terminally ill. Ethan sees through the lie and ends the relationship himself. Rue rekindles her romance with Jules, but her return to drug use threatens to unravel everything. She forms a secret bond with Elliot, a new student who becomes both a friend and an enabler of her addiction. Wanting a larger supply, Rue visits Laurie again and offers to sell drugs on her behalf in exchange for $10,000 worth of narcotics. As Elliot grows closer to both Rue and Jules, his conscience catches up to him. He admits to Jules that Rue has been using drugs, which prompts Jules to tell Rue's mother, Leslie. In response, Leslie disposes of the drugs, triggering a violent outburst from Rue. She lashes out at both Jules and Elliot and tears through the house in a drug-fueled frenzy. Leslie tries to take Rue to rehab, but Rue escapes and ends up at Lexi and Cassie's house. During a surprise intervention, Rue distracts the group by revealing Cassie and Nate's secret relationship to Maddie, igniting a brutal confrontation and giving Rue the chance to flee again. She takes refuge at Laurie's, where she's sedated with morphine and subtly threatened with human trafficking if she fails to repay her debt. Traumatized and at rock bottom, Rue finally returns home and begins seeking help. Meanwhile, Nate, shaken by his family's implosion and growing paranoia about the fallout from Cal's past, takes action. Maddie possesses a copy of a sex tape Cal filmed of Jules. Nate retrieves the tape by threatening Maddie at gunpoint, then visits Jules to give it to her and offer a rare moment of honesty, admitting that the person she thought she loved online was truly him. Throughout the season, Lexi has been working on a school play dramatizing the lives of her friends and family. When the play is performed, it causes waves. Maddie starts to let go of her anger toward Cassie. Rue and Jules reflect on their fractured relationship. Nate, however, becomes furious during a homoerotic musical number portraying him and his football teammates. In a rage, he breaks up with Cassie. Cassie storms the stage to confront Lexi mid-performance, prompting their mother Suze to intervene. Moments later, Maddie chases Cassie off the stage after a physical altercation. The chaos nearly derails the play until Rue leads the audience in a chant of encouragement for Lexi, helping her finish what she started. However, Fez never shows up for the play, having problems of his own. Custer, now working with the police, arrives at Fezco's apartment to record a confession about Mouse's murder. Faye, suspecting a trap, tries to warn Fez. But Ashtray, unaware of the full situation, kills Custer before they can resolve it. As a SWAT team closes in, Fez prepares to take the blame, but Ashtray locks himself in the bathroom, heavily armed. When the raid begins, Ashtray opens fire. He is ultimately killed in the shootout, and Fez is shot and arrested. Nate confronts his father one final time. Cal offers an apology for his failures, but Nate has already turned him into the authorities, exposing his secret tapes and relationships with underage partners. In the final scenes, Rue reconnects with Elliot and forgives him for his role in her intervention, thanking him for helping save her life. Her relationship with Jules remains unresolved, but Rue seems to find a sense of peace. She closes the season with a voiceover revealing she stayed sober through the rest of the school year. She admits she doesn't know if her sobriety will last forever, but for now, she's trying.